A lot of people have asked me, how can I benefit from hiring R.Lamon venture interests? What is it that your organization is going to do for me? There are three things that we provide our clients with: supply chain logistics, profit maximization strategies, and we create action plans to allow them to create novel value propositions and position them in the marketplace. Period. What does that entail? Everything that makes a company run. Literally. Financing, operational design, channel design, go-to-market strategies, business planning, market planning, anything that you have to have in order to be a successful organization, including accounting optimization. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is Raynauld Lamon. I am the CEO of R.Lamon Venture Interests. R.Lamon Venture Interests was created in 2016 by myself as a business consultation firm, and I've already alluded to the types of things that we like to provide our customers with when they hire us. Let me talk more about my background. I earned an MBA from the University of South Florida. The concentration essentially was in the area of venture equity capital management, falls into the entrepreneurship track. Means that I've finished finance training, but I tried to blend it with entrepreneurship training so that in essence I would have the ability to position companies effectively for IPO positioning. I started in the field of consultation in 2008, working with International Profit Associates. At that time, I was asked to be a senior area manager, and I was supposed to go out and literally talk to small and mid-sized businesses about strategies that were important for them to remain successful in the Chicagoland area, which is always a challenge. Before starting consultation, I got a PhD at the University of Notre Dame. Medicinal chemistry was primarily the focus of my PhD studies. I spent another 5.5 years learning how to become proficient in natural product synthesis and synthetic methods development, as well as solid phase assisted organic synthesis. Prior to starting my PhD studies, I worked 3 years in the chemical industry for Nalco Chemical and Whitco Chemical, which is now Lonexus Chemical. When I worked at Whitco Chemical, I was primarily involved in the creation of batch formation logistics, including quality control, that were important to produce materials that had use for our clients. Pharmaceutical industry were some of the clients that we had, the tire industry, etc., etc. Spent time working for Nalco Chemical as a technician, gold and coal optimization strategies, obviously water treatment. If you know anything about Nalco Chemical, that is their bread and butter, but an opportunity to understand exactly the types of things that they develop in order to provide their customers with realistic water treatment strategies as well. Spent a couple of years working at UPS as an inter-hub supervisor. That's where I first learned shipping and distribution logistics. The only reason that I did not stay at UPS was because I literally Graduated from the University of Illinois with a BS in biochemistry, and it was my goal to learn how to become a scientist. Sometimes I think that in hindsight it was a mistake, sometimes I don't. Nevertheless, I am an effective scientist, and I do have the ability to introduce materials into the marketplace from a research perspective and a manufacturing perspective as well. So I can assist my clients with that goal. Of getting into new markets, we help them with the evaluation of new market risk reduction. We help them with business unit creation risk reduction. We help our clients with accurate valuation for new technology and innovation, optimization of contribution margins, improved inventory management, identification of bottlenecks that affect product delivery cycle time and manufacturing, maximization of management and employee productivity, profit maximization, synergy for new technology or innovation, cost of goods minimization, supply chain. When you first come and you talk to me, the thing that we do initially is spend a week evaluating your company. That first week is going to cost you $500, period. And the reason it costs $500 is because we do have to determine if there's anything that we can help you with. Not every individual that comes to us has a problem that we will be able to assist them with. This is a known fact. Sometimes you just have a bad business idea. You have nothing. We would like to help you, but it's just nothing that we can do for you. When we meet clients like that, typically what we will do is assist them with the creation of a business plan and perhaps a marketing plan. We need to some kind of way figure out how to get you a value proposition. Sometimes you just don't even have an idea of what it is that you want to do. So during that first week, which will cost $500, we're going to ask you to present balance sheet activity, inventory numbers, financial data. If you don't have that, needless to say, that suggests that you don't have an idea of what you want to do. Do ask for 1 month, 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years worth of financials as well. As I indicated before, if you have none of that, then the only thing that we can focus on is a business plan, in which we will help you with the creation of a business plan. So after that, we have to determine how long we feel it's going to take to create a realistic business plan. So we're going to have to sit down and obviously talk to you about your idea and do some brainstorming. You can assume it's going to take a month. The business plan itself will most likely cost you between $3,000 to $1,000 after that original $500 consultation. It depends on what it is that I have to do for you. How developed is your innovation? Do you need to have things filed for patents? Do you need to start from scratch? Absolutely. The individual who starts from scratch can anticipate having to pay me for a month's work, which would be $3,000 after that original $500 consultation fee. I will make sure that you get a very good business plan. I will make sure that you have a business plan that can get funded. I will make sure that logistically your idea is something that you can present for funding. I will help you to find funding opportunities. But in the same token, it's important to understand that if you don't have a concept of what it is that you need to do, then we're going to be working with you as if I have to take the project over. Depending on what the project is, I may find that I have an expertise or materials available that will make your idea more palatable. I may make such a suggestion to you. I may make a suggestion for ownership as well. I do be open-minded to that. It's not my goal to hire your employees. It's not my goal to run your company. It's my goal to be an outsourcing option for you as a manager. Just like you have to make sure that you have your books audited when you are accompanied by an accountant, no matter how good you are at accounting, and we can help with that process of getting your books evaluated. We do offer such services. So if you want to talk about that, we can, but that's another issue. The point is that my goal is to give you an opportunity to allocate your time. If you need to look for good talent, if you need to seek out capital, if you need to optimize your supply chain, if you need to come up with a better go-to-market strategy, you can't do everything as an individual. Your management team is hit with new opportunities. Your marketplace is changing. You have to change your operational strategy. You don't know how to do it. You don't have the time to do the book work. We're there to do the book work for you. If you have a business plan, if you have an idea in mind, you don't need a marketing plan. You don't need a business plan. You don't need funds. You're not trying to get a grant. You already know what it is you want to manufacture. What you're trying to do is to make sure that your current service or product that you have in the marketplace is produced or offered cost effectively. We can help with that. Once again, our goal is not to hire your employees. It's not to train your employees. It's not to tell you what to do. It's to provide you with action plans that will make it possible for you to be more effective as a manager. That is our overall goal. Once we get through that process, once again, it's the first week's process, we have to determine how many months we're going to work with you. Once again, if we work with you for a month, it'll cost you between $3,000 and $5,000. That's for 4 weeks worth of work. Depending on the number of employees that you have, depending on what it is we have to assist you with. My advice is to consider our relationship as a once-a-year checkup. If you want to be a healthy individual, you need to go see a doctor once a year periodically when you get to a certain age. That's what they always tell you. If you want to be a healthy company, you need to see an outside specialist who can audit your company and make you aware of changes in the marketplace that will allow you to be an effective company. Period. That's how you remain competitive. It doesn't matter how good your managerial team is. For example, how you have the best accountants in the world, but you still have to have somebody double check your books because sometimes things do change. There are people who specialize in SEC law that may have learned some things that you're not aware of. You'll file something, and if you weren't aware of that, it may cost you a fine of $22,000 or $30,000. That's something you don't need. You could have spent $4,000 to have it audited, and they would have made you aware of that. It's the same type of thing that you confront as a manager. Talk to other people who have managerial expertise, bounce your ideas around, reduce your legal fines if you can because of oversights, and maximize the time that you have as a manager. By all means, you can't be everywhere at once. Allocating time, working with a specialist like myself, gives you more time to do things that happens to be essential to your business. My goal is to help you with your value chain proposition, once again. But to make a long story short, after I get your logistics, I look at a series of benchmarks. I want to position your company for business cycle effectiveness. If you're trying to get your company into an IPO position, I understand that, but we have to get your company adjusted so we can present certain benchmarks so that your company becomes something that is attractive to the marketplace. I can talk to you about that, but there are certain things that you need to have to attract investors. You have to have, obviously, a viable strategy in place. Otherwise, you're going to get raked for your ideas. I don't want that to happen to you. My goal is to, once again, make you a successful company. If you feel you need partnership with us, we will talk to you about that. Be happy to talk to you about that. I know sometimes companies do need funding and finance, but I need to find out what positioning I have. As I alluded to before, I have a background in organic chemistry. I am personally interested in specialty chemicals. I want to start a specialty chemical company. That is something I will be doing in the next 10 years. I'm looking for a product line. I am looking for supply chain contracts. I am interested in starting a biomedical company. I am interested in continuing to build my consulting firm so that I can offer investment services. These are realistic goals for myself. Right now, we are a consulting business and we are expanding, which means we are interested in creating private equity for ourselves and our customers. I'd be happy to talk to you about that, whether it be a crowdfunding option or something to that effect. We may find that while we're investigating your company that there may be a mutual interest. For example, there's a chemical that I want to make that you need. And we may decide to co-market the particular material through your product, or I'll sell it to you, or maybe you'll sell me something and I'll go ahead and introduce that into the marketplace. We'll figure out what that relationship is like. Not unlike what I used to do at Waco Chemical. Very open-minded to that. Once we get an idea of your business cycle positioning, once we get an idea of whether or not you are interested in an IPO or whether or not you are just interested in business optimization strategies, I'm going to look at your benchmarks and we have to determine where you want to go. We're going to focus on adjusting your benchmarks so that they match companies who have specific success levels that have similar types of business logistics to your own. Once we match that, we're going to be able to identify underperforming areas. Once we identify these underperforming areas, a little bit more time focusing on the generation of budgeting. Obviously, we got to figure out how we're going to finance changes. What types of changes do you need? Maybe it's a cost minimization strategy. Maybe you're overpaying for certain things and you can roll that money into other types of investment strategies. We need to talk about that. But after we get an idea of what it is that needs to be done, we'll be talking to you about budgeting. We'll be talking to you about new valuation strategies, operational designs for services that you may want to offer, or it may be just different products that you want to offer as well too. Talking to you about financial optimization strategies, as we alluded to before. How you're going to manage your debt to financing so that you can best accomplish your goal of benefiting from scalability. We will talk about that a little bit more. The generation of action plans, and I can't emphasize this enough. Everybody seems to think an action plan is, I'm going to do this, this is not a list of to-do things. It's a decision tree weighted strategy based on profitability. These types of things are referred to in the marketplace as net present value growth opportunities. They are what companies utilize to attract funding from investors. In the marketplace, you hear people talking about new product lines and services that they're introducing all the time. And you have to come up with this value proposition that's going to attract investors. It's going to attract business. Most important of all, we're looking for ideas that are going to generate sales revenue and profits. And we help you with the creation of such things. Very, very important. The action plans that we generate are essentially net present value growth opportunities. So when you're looking at your theoretical valuation per share, assuming that you do have shares available, but we can create a share number for you to get started. Quite often you have to do that when you're trying to prepare for IPOs, but what we're doing is we're trying to add to your company's valuation. Consider it to be a book value originally, irrespective of how we talk about shares. but we want to add to that valuation with this net present value growth opportunity. So the action plans are essentially net present value growth opportunity decision trees, and we'll discuss that. Once we have these decision trees, we create the go-to-market strategies based on what we feel is most profitable, and they're ranked from most profitable to least profitable. Obviously, you have to decide what strategy you want to pursue based on your investment dollars. We understand that. Sometimes there are barriers to entry which have to be considered. We understand that. But these are the types of things that we will discuss with you as a company, helping you as a manager to position your ideas. Keep in mind that one of the things that we provide our customers with is sector analysis. Now, if you are an investment firm, or if you are an investment firm, you realize that before you make decisions, you have to have an idea of what a marketplace looks like. Our organization provides those logistics, literally. Okay, how good an investor you happen to be, you don't have time to see everything. You have to have research specialists. That is what our company actually is positioned for. I told you before, it's important to make sure that you have that audit team in place. It's important to have people that can write marketing projections for you or marketing plans that are useful for your particular investment organization. We generate these things for ourselves because we have interest in investment strategies as well. But our investment strategies may not be your own. Maybe we can assist you by sharing some of our technology with you, or if you will, provide you with some of our forecasting so it'll make things easier for you as an investor. Consider it to be an advantage for you. When you come in the morning, you have a sector summary for the specialization areas that you have in your portfolios. You'll know exactly what your positioning is. You'll see your charts, and you'll know how to create a trading plan. And we can assist with that. These are invaluable services. You'll find that if you want to be successful as an investing firm, you have to have this type of research done for you. We do that. To give you an idea of what our approach toward assisting managers is all about, I created a slide that gives you an idea of what types of things we really touch on. I already discussed some of these things, so I'm just going to kind of gloss over this because this is an introduction to R.Lamon Venture Interests. Needless to say, I want you to call me and talk to me, and I'm going to provide you with a personal email so that you can reach out to me. In turn, I will send you a business email so that after we have agreed upon something, we can create a business liaison and move forward. But originally, we can start off by having a cordial conversation. Maybe you just need advice, so it doesn't have to be such a tense situation. But it is an email that I created for business purposes, but it's just a Gmail account that I have that will respond by giving you a business email after we decide we want to move forward with business negotiations so that at least we can create a formality, obviously, after we have agreed to sign a contract. Keeping in mind that our first meeting is $500. If you want to work with me for a month, it's going to cost you $3,000 to $5,000 based on the number of employees that you have. I have recommended for all my clients that you talk to me once a year. So consider us to be an expense that's between $3,000 and $5,000 once a year that allows you to maintain your competitiveness as a company, that will always make sure that you have sector analysis reports if you need these reports, the annual reports. So once a year you get an idea of exactly what's going on in the industry from a research standpoint. A lot of people spend money going to conferences that are held for venture equity, and they try to find out about new technology. We assist with introducing the technology to you, so you can literally spend between $3,000 to $5,000 once a year, and we will provide you with marketing reports that will allow you to become abreast at what's going on within your specific sector of interest, whether it be healthcare, whether it be technology, whether it is consumer staples or consumer discretionary, so that you have an advantage as an investor. From a business standpoint, obviously what you want to do is make sure that you have this annual checkup. We have the benchmarks. After that first year, we have action plans. We want to see how successful you were implementing your action plans. We want to see how these numbers have turned out for you. Obviously, we expect you to be more profitable. My estimates are always conservative. They are not optimistic. So I expect you to do better than I indeed will suggest that you will be able to do, because I want to show you offers of success. But I want to come back and take a look at your company a year later, and what we'll do is determine how your action plan has been followed, if you've had success, if there are bottlenecks, and we'll redesign. So literally that is what the 1 year checkup is all about. We may find that the next year, for whatever reason, maybe you don't need me to talk to you for 5 weeks. That first year, you need a 5-week conversation. Maybe you only need a 2-week conversation the second year. If that is the case, you may find that we're looking at an expense between $1,500 to $2,500, depending on what it is you need from us. If you just want us to prepare a report, well, obviously the report amount we will agree upon, and we'll go ahead and write it for you. Typically, these types of marketing reports, if you look online, they'll cost you anywhere between $5,000 to $15,000. I told you that I would treat it as if it's 1 month's worth of work, and between $3,000 to $5,000 you can get the report. So that's a feather in your cap. So you can save that extra money that you will be spending on marketing reports, and we will keep the money, obviously, meaning that we will keep the money as a business, you and I, and then we can reinvest that. So this is the type of thing that you definitely want to pay attention to. Once we connect you with suppliers, and you may already have suppliers in mind, but if you don't, we have to talk to you about supply chain logistics. Some people just don't have the foggiest idea where to go get things. They don't. If they do, they can't negotiate effectively. We assist with that as one of my attributes as a business manager that I can share with you. Direct materials, indirect materials, inventory, that type of optimization, I suggest that I can assist you with. From the standpoint of perhaps wanting to make something for you that you can put into your product that will be of high quality, or perhaps buying something from you that you manufacture so that I can produce a value proposition that will be very, very attractive to customers. So we have that co-marketing, which is what I was telling you before. We can actually save money, and then we can move forward from a co-marketing standpoint. That's what I was referring to. We'll talk to you about your distribution points, logistics of distribution, logistics of the inventory, obviously operational logistics. If for whatever reason there is a problem in these areas, and we already spoke about that. This is part of generation of action plans. Sometimes if we have to tweak this after a year, we will talk about what needs to be done. Sometimes it's just a matter of you not being able to implement the technology that we had agreed upon, and we need to get in there and talk to you about either newer technology or simplifying the implementation so that you have a better cost effectiveness realization. Monitoring your business cycle growth. Once again, are you interested in going IPO? Are you interested in just staying private, but you want to move on from growth to maturity? You want to make sure that you connect to your customer demographics accordingly, looking for that growth. Everybody knows there is a correlation between the amount of money that you spend on marketing and the amount of sales revenue that you realize. But there are certain avenues in which you are supposed to market because there are certain demographics that are interested in your products. If you are manufacturing feminine hygiene products, for example. You wouldn't sell them to men, would you? They probably are not going to sell well. These types of things. That's a mismatch. That's a disaster. You want to make sure that you're targeting the correct demographics so that you can realize profit maximization. Obviously, as I alluded before, we want to make sure that we're providing you with industrial sector tips. What's new, what type of technology mirrors yours, other companies that are doing what you're doing, some of their tips, some of the successes, failures, what types of things you need to avoid. And this is part of the research that we do offer our clients, as I alluded to before. Consider us literally to be a valuable source of research reports and marketing reports for your business that you can obtain cost effectively. On average, for $10,000 less than you would pay. And I challenge you, go look online. You'll see what I'm saying is true. $15,000 is normally going rate. Save yourself $10,000, talk to us. We'll get you a very good marketing report that has good action plans, utilizing strategy that we've already developed and allows us to more cost effectively generate these types of suggestions for you. Once we start working with you, we're always going to be looking for demand and supply issues that confront your business. Seasonality issues, changes in networking, where the companies are going into and out of business, mergers that may have changed the availability of certain materials. And I told you that if you do, for whatever reason, lose an ingredient, we are willing to consider which you have lost and adopting that as a product that we can make and introduce into your value proposition. This happens all the time to generic drug manufacturers. Something's on the market, there's a change in distribution, one of the ingredients has to change. Now your formulation is going to change, but it won't work. The product won't work the same way that it worked in the past. I'm saying that we will look into making that ingredient if we feel it is beneficial for us so that you can maintain your product consistency so your customers won't be hurt by the change in distribution. Talk to us about that. That's, once again, one of the things that R.Lamon Venture Interest is primarily concerned with. Keep in mind that in addition to marketing plans, in addition to inventory management design, in addition to value chain design, in addition to operational logistic design, in addition to plans, one of the things that we offer our customers as an option of moving your money around. Right now, we're working on logistics with some of our partners that will make it possible for you to take money that you may have sitting dormant in your accounts and moving it around to other accounts worldwide so that you can take advantage of arbitrage. We have connections that are available to us that will allow you to move money around between different banks all over the world so that you can lock in profits. It helps you with your taxation. Needless to say, if we can earn you 10% more on your value of your dollar, then your taxes are not 35%. If that's what they are supposed to be, they'll be 25%. Donald Trump has learned how to do this, and he does it from real estate havens. We can talk to you about that type of strategy. As I alluded to before, we are working on partnerships that will allow our customers to take advantage of reinvestment strategies. If you're looking to get into options, if you're looking to get into equities, particularly if you're looking to get into business development, which is the thing that we specialize in. We do have crowdfunding opportunities we want to present to our customers that will allow them to get a return on the money that they're saving with us. So talk to us about that. Once again, my name is Dr. Raynauld Lamon Bishop, and I can be reached at 312-806-3163. My personal email is raynauldlamon@gmail.com. What you see here on this slide is a summary of the things that I will have available for all of my customers in 2023. Right now, we are a business consultation firm. We specialize in providing sector analysis, which is important for investment firms like ours who are interested in getting all of the 411, or if you will, making sure they have the most recent information about their sector or their specific focus. We get that information to you. We're happy to provide it so that when you come in the morning, you'll have these reports available for you. You'll know exactly what it is that you need to do, and you can devise efficient trading plans accordingly. We will be offering, as I alluded to before, investment options that will allow you to have things made for you, for your organization. As I said before, I'm interested in specialty chemicals, and we'll be starting more than one specialty chemical for myself through my organization. I'm going to be able to offer you discounts on retirement options for your employees. That's one of the things that we're going to be talking about in the future as well too. When you do retain us as a consultant, you will get your retirement handled as well by us, and we can talk about options that will allow you perhaps to waive your fees in lieu of working with us and letting us help your employees with their retirement goals, with their investment goals. It will allow you to have your annual report fees waived. We will talk about that when you do give me a call. You can get marketing reports from us as of today. Talk to us. Talk to us about your goals, your dreams. Once again, my name is Raynauld Lamon, Bishop, and I do appreciate your time. Have a great day.